What I'm going to tell you in this video is going to change your life forever. If you can understand the things that I'm going to talk about and teach you in this video and actually put these into practice, your reality is going to shift so fast you won't know what the hell happened. Let's get straight into it. So what is freedom? A lot of people want freedom, but they don't actually truly understand what freedom is, why they want it, or how to even get it. If I was to ask someone, well, what do you want? I want freedom. I want to be able to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it, at any point in my life. That, understandably, is freedom. But in order to get to freedom, you have to understand your internal world and why you are not free there. Now, if anyone wants freedom, let's say this represents freedom. If anyone wants freedom, if you desire freedom, it's coming from this thing over here. Whatever that thing is, no matter what it is, it's not about defining it or whatever. If you have that desire to get something, it's because you don't have it. If you desire to get a new car or a new house or a partner or a job, whatever it is, the entire reason you have that desire is because you don't have that thing, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. This isn't a video about live in the end moment. It's not that. But you have to understand that the reason you want freedom is because you are not free. And your external reality, your external world, the reality that you're experiencing is a reflection of your inner world. So by wanting to be free, and here you're like, well, my freedom is being able to do whatever I want, whenever I want to do it. That is the 3D external mirrored expression of freedom for you, which is very, very normal. But your internal world is what manifests your external world. Everything is a mirror to you. So understand that if you want freedom, which is I want to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it, which is the external, and the way that we do that is by manifesting money, manifesting wealth, to be able to do whatever I want. The only way that that's going to happen, that you're going to change the external reality, is by going internally and understanding how you are not free internally. There is no other way of doing this. I cannot stress out to you anymore that it's your internal world that is manifesting your external world. Yes, you need to take action and still do things in your external world, which is how you change it as well. But continuous action is not the only thing. The bigger, more important thing is your internal world. Because your internal world will also dictate the action you take in the external world. And I'm going to get more into that later on in this video. Now I'm going to tell you my story. And the story that I tell you right now is about how I found my freedom. And it's really going to make so many things click for you. It's going to plant so many seeds and you're going to understand what the hell I'm talking about. And through that understanding, you're going to be able to apply that to your own situation, your own journey, what you're going through. Now, I live with my family and we recently moved to a new property. This house we're not even been here for a year yet. And recently we've had some bailiffs over. So we've had bailiffs come over looking for the previous tenants who obviously owed money. And that's happened a few times. I've spoken to them, my partner's spoken to them. We're like, look, people don't live here anymore, go away. And this was around the time where I was going through a lot of deep work and I was like, what is going on? But by the mere ability to understand reality's language, I realized that that was actually something. That was a communication to me. Because in my past, I used to be in so much debt. I used to make decisions that didn't work out and I would have bailiffs after me. Years ago when I was trying to do anything, this is before my awakening, before I even learned or I was on the journey of being a spiritual teacher, I used to get bailiffs coming after me for debt. And even though these bailiffs were not after me, it made me feel weird. It started bringing up these old feelings for me. And I soon realized that this is a communication. This is taking me to a part of myself that I need to give a lot more attention to. It's bringing up my awareness to an unconscious part of myself. So I started going towards this part. And I realized that the manifestation of bailiffs is a thing, not just for me, in general. Because what is bailiffs, essentially? Essentially, when you miss a payment and the bailiffs come after you, what that is a punishment. Because essentially what the bailiffs do is I will take what you own, whatever it is, the law is behind me. Even if you're struggling, doesn't matter. even if you're really, really upset and tried your best, it doesn't matter. So it's actually a punishment after failure. So the failure is you weren't able to pay something on time. It might be because you're struggling elsewhere in your life, or it might be because you tried something and then it didn't work. But whatever it is, it's a failure. And the bailiffs is a manifestation of punishment after failure. And when I connected with this part through the manifestation of that, I realized that this happened to me a lot in my life in the past. And to go to the core of understanding why this was manifesting in reality for me in the past and why it's bringing these parts of me now, the goal is to always understand where all of this started. Because what this part of you believes, knows, thinks, feels like, experiences is what will manifest in your reality. And what was manifesting in my reality was punishment after failure. In our lifetime, we live in the emotional dark ages. And that means that the people in your life, your caregivers, your family, your social circle, do not understand and do not know how to be there for each other, themselves, or you in an emotionally healthy way. You have different dynamic roles in the family as well. I fell into the scapegoat role. The scapegoat especially is essentially like the trash bin of everyone's emotional baggage. The scapegoat is the one that cannot conform and that will trigger everyone's emotional wounds and pain, which then would make everyone project that to the scapegoat, because it's like, you're making me feel like this, you're doing this to me. So it's all projected out. So as the scapegoat, you're essentially getting it from every angle. There's no safety, you're on your own. And you're in this mode, in this place where you're constantly being punished. It doesn't matter what it is. And look, it's really important that we're kind of keeping in the timeline of my childhood when I'm talking about this next part. In my childhood, I would try anything, no matter what it is. I would try to achieve something, try to be a good boy, try to behave correctly the way that everyone expects me to behave, because that is the only way that I could maintain connection. That is the only way that I could get love and be accepted. But because I was the scapegoat, it didn't matter. It does not matter. I tried everything. There were moments where I was really good, really well behaved. I did exactly what was expected of me. And the next day, or the day after that, or the week after that, again, I would be punished. I would be attacked. I would be just completely ignored in terms of what my needs are, what I want, everything, and it doesn't matter. The reason I feel bad is because of you, and I'm taking it out on you. So this is the little dance here. It's in between these two here. So this part has learned that now I'm in this reality where I am stuck here. And in order to get out of the pain, in order to free myself from this reality of punishment after failure, I have to. The only way I can do that is what I've known, which is what always brings me safe, comfort, and love, which is pleasing the punisher. Pleasing the punisher. And in my childhood, this was my caregiver. So I'm stuck in this reality because I can't just, as a child, I can't just go and live on my own or survive on my own. I rely on my caregivers for survival. And I'm stuck in this reality that no matter what I do, it's never good enough. Even if I conform the way that they want me to conform, it's never good enough. I'm constantly getting punished. I can't do anything about it. So the only thing that I can do is try to please. I'm trying to please them, trying to show them that I am not this person you think I am. Because in the moments where I would get punished, it's like, you did this, or you're the reason. Why can't you behave? Why can't you do this? And it's just constantly like, it doesn't matter. Even if you did behave or if you did conform, it's just like, why did you do this? I didn't. So you're in this like perpetual state of constantly trying to show your worth, constantly trying to be like, look, this isn't who I am. You keep thinking I'm this bad person that I mess up, and I'm trying my best. And that's why we try to please others, is to kind of show like, hey, I'm a good person. I'm not this bad person. This is why we get defensive. Defending yourself and being defensive are completely different things. You can absolutely defend yourself, for sure. If someone has misinterpreted and they have a perception that is not in alignment with what is actually true, you can be like, hey, that's not true. let's talk about it. But being defensive, which usually is reacting in a specific way that doesn't help the situation, you're shouting, you're trying to fight for your own truth, comes from a place of not feeling good enough. The reason that we are defensive in that way is because we are completely misunderstood, and we're trying to make the other person see that that is not the case. Because whenever the other person sees me in a good way and sees that I am a nice person and I am trying to be what they want me to be and I am good enough, then it will stop the unsafety of the punishment. So this reality here is what we are stuck in. We're completely stuck. And because you don't know what you don't know, you're stuck unconsciously. I cannot tell you how important it is to have the tools and have the skills to bring to your awareness what you do not know that you do not know. Okay? You can know what you know can know what you don't know, and you can not know what you don't know. Like, for example, you don't know the words that I'm going to say after this. Pumpernickel, giraffe head, stick. You had no idea I was going to say that. But by me just saying you don't know that what I'm going to say, you knew what you didn't know. But at the same time, you have no idea what's behind the camera. If it's a wall, if it's a window, if it's someone actually stood there. But you weren't even thinking about what's behind the camera. That's what you don't know you don't know. And there are so many parts of you, so many behaviors, so many needs, wants, and desires that you have no idea about yourself. You are stuck in a reality because of the experiences you've had that you have no idea about. This is why self-awareness is so important. This is why integration work is so important, to have the tools to be able to bring into the light of your consciousness the unconscious parts of yourself is the most important thing that you will learn in your life. Otherwise, you're just reacting in reality. You're just constantly bouncing around, not understanding why things are not working, because you're trapped in a reality in your internal world because of what you've been through. So after becoming aware that this is what I am trapped in, I am trapped in a perpetual state of trying to prove my worth because I am being punished after failure. Whatever that failure is. Sometimes that failure is not even something I tried. The failure is just being, because mom was in a bad mood. So then she'd come and it's like, oh, I must have not behaved in a certain way. Did I put the toilet seat down? Did I tidy my room or my toys? Like, I don't get it. I don't even know. And this is why you try to be someone. This is why people are trying to achieve greatness. Again, look, if you're trying to achieve greatness, right? So here, greatness in a circle, bubble type thing. It's not a circle. If you're trying to achieve something, it is because you are not that thing. If you are trying to be someone who is great, what you're saying is right now, in this very moment, who I am is not great. And you're putting these conditions in your reality where you're like, well, I need that company and I need to do this in the world. And you're putting all these conditions in your external world to then validate the fact that you're great. You're like, oh, well, I'm not great if I don't do X, Y, and Z. Why? Why? Because it's a programming. It's a story. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if someone comes up with the best reason ever. Your reality is you. And if you're waiting to achieve something before you define yourself as great, then your external world runs you, runs your internal world. But you're like, all right, I get that. I logically get that, but I can't get there. I can't, like, even though I logically know now and I believe you and I trust you and I trust your words and what you're saying makes sense, I don't feel great. I don't feel great for just saying it. And that's because of this. Because you are trapped in a reality within yourself that you are unaware of, where you're trying to be someone or something, so you stop getting punished. So you stop feeling unsafe. If they know that I am great, then they will love me. And my confirmation of being great is by achieving all of these cool things, by having the business that I want, by having the millions and millions and billions of dollars that I want. my external world will show them that I am great, so the punishment stops. Through my awareness of this and integrating this part of myself, through the validation and through the skills and tools and everything that I teach all of the advanced manifestors in the Mindset Mastery program, through all of that, I realized that it's not me. I am stuck in this reality of trying to please so I'm not punished, trying to show my worth, trying to show my value, defending myself, or better yet, being defensive because the people that I want to show my worth to are the ones punishing me. And look, this behavior, it's automatic, it's unconscious. So you could even, as an adult, be with your partner's nowhere near like as bad as your parents. Let's say your partner's even loving and supportive. It doesn't mean that this behavior stops, because this is an unconscious behavior. You don't know what you don't know. So you will continue trying to prove your worth to everyone, your friends, your partner, the world, everyone. Because this is the only thing that's ever kept you safe. You've had moments where you did well in your business and it stopped and your caregivers were proud of you. Like, oh my God, you're doing great. You're doing, I was like, oh, this actually feels amazing. And I am showing, and they're stopping and everything. And now the thing that is bringing you that safety, that confidence, that peace, everything is the external thing. It's the business, it's the wealth, it's the attention you're getting on social media, it's the followers, the amount of comments, everything that you're seeing and going, oh, this is more confirmation that I am worthy, that I am good enough, that I am great. But if all of those things went, if you lost your business, if for whatever reason so many people stopped following you, stopped commenting on your posts, stopped sharing their own self to you in the ways that they do, everything stopped, you would fall back into this. This is why it's so important to have the skills and have the tools to be able to go into your internal world and do what you need to do. Because by doing this will actually manifest your freedom. The reason you have money blocks is because money is a huge representation of freedom. And because you're not feeling free because of the unconscious part of yourself, that's the block. When I was integrating this part, through the validation, I realized that it's actually not about me. I realized that I was trying to prove something to someone that hadn't lived up to their end of life. As a child, you are completely 100% reliant on your caregivers. Now, your caregivers aren't just necessarily your parents. They can be anyone, and you can have many caregivers. But you are 100% reliant on your caregivers to teach you how to live in reality, how to be able to handle yourself in so many different ways. But again, because we live in a time, which is the emotional dark ages, the caregivers did not have the ability to do so. One of the things that we need help with is understanding failure. Understanding that when I do something and I mess it up, whether that's conforming and listening to the way that I'm being told to behave, or whether that's actually like trying something. Maybe it might be a new drawing at school, or I go play a new sport, or the same sport and I'm trying to achieve a different level, or a test, or even as an adult, I try to run a business, a new business, and that failed. No matter what it is, what we need as a conscious awareness human being in this life is we need support, like a support bubble. We need support. We need to be brought up to say it's okay. Don't worry about it. Do it again. Failing is part of learning. But that's not what we got. Because we live in a time where everyone is still fear-based teaching, we're getting punished after failing. So as a child, I would try something. I would do a test and I would not get 20 out of 20. I might even get 19 out of 20. And what would happen is I would get punished for the one that I got wrong. I would try to achieve something, no matter what it is, and I would get shamed and ridiculed and punished for not being able to achieve it, as their way to try and actually get me to achieve it. And then even in the moments where that's not happening, because the humans that are responsible for my upbringing, my well-being, my life, my existence, because they're not able to emotionally regulate themselves, because they're not emotionally evolved, what they do is they just take everything out on me as the scapegoat. But not even necessarily the scapegoat. Like, this can happen in any dynamic role, but it's so much more extreme in the scapegoat. That's what's happening. That's not me. That wasn't my fault. That was their fault. This is not about holding a grudge with your caregivers. This is about validating the pain that you have been through. It is not your fault that your caregivers were not equipped or able to even understand what you needed. It's not an excuse. It doesn't matter that they weren't able to understand. It's not okay. It's not okay that you had to go through someone else's inability to understand. That's what has created this prison within yourself of continuously trying to be great, trying to be something, being someone, because you have been made to feel like you are not someone already. I realized it's not my fault. It's not me. It's you. You're the fucking reason that I'm trying so hard to be someone, that I'm killing myself, banging my head against the wall. This is the reason why I have that block that stops the freedom coming into my reality. Because I'm trying to be someone so that you will stop punishing me after any sort of failure. Whether that's a failure in your business, whether that's just a failure in life in any way. And I felt it to my core. I was like, fuck you. Fuck you for putting me in that place. And look, I know there are parts of you going like, oh, no, we can't really be like that. No, everything is love and we need to. No, you need to validate how the fuck you feel. That doesn't mean that you're going to stay in it. And it doesn't mean you have to cut the relationships. Doesn't even mean you have to tell them. But in this moment of realization, fuck you for doing this to me. And that's okay. You cannot get to this part of you if you don't allow this part of you to express the angers of the realization that you've just come to right now. You were not there the way I needed you to be there for me. The way that a guide, a caregiver needs to be. I was not prepared for life. And every time I tried to do something, you hurt me again. No matter what it was, even if I did well, it still continued. And then that's when I realized that I'm trapped in this reality. In this reality of trying to prove so they would stop. And I realized that by trying to prove, what is it that I'm trying to prove? Again, I'm trying to prove that I'm great so you'll stop punishing me. If I prove to you that I'm great, this all stops. So my goal of trying to achieve greatness, at the core of it, at the absolute core of it, it's not about money. It's not about freedom in terms of being able to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do in my external world. It's actually to stop this, because this is my prison here. So I realized now as an adult, I don't live with them anymore. I don't rely on them for my life, my existence. I realized that I'm in a completely different place and I can actually just achieve what I'm trying to achieve, which is realizing that I am me. And I've done enough work on myself where I don't need your approval. I don't need yours or anyone's approval. Because the reason why I'm so easily able to understand that and feel that is because I realize that the only reason I need anyone's approval is because I'm trying to show them that I am something and someone. But I started showing that to myself a long time ago. And I'm at the place now where I know that I am. And I'm okay with that. So I stopped trying to show internally to anyone. And what that did is, by stopping trying to show anyone that I am great, it also led me to not needing to achieve greatness. I don't need to achieve greatness because that is what essentially I was putting the condition on to be great. And then what that did is it freed me from my prison. I'm now free. And no matter what you do, I'm in a completely different position, in a completely different place in my life. And yeah, you can hurt me, you can keep trying to hurt me, you can keep attacking me, but I have new choices now. I can literally leave the environment. I can not speak to you. I can pull away. I can do other things. I have so many more options now, and I don't need to prove to you that I am worth being loved. If you can't love me because you're incapable of doing so, it is what it is. I'm not going to try and prove my greatness anymore. And I don't need to please anyone anymore. And I understand, and I've learned that failure is actually part of learning. It's part of life. What you didn't understand and you never taught me. So that has taken away the power to punish me. Again, I can just take myself away. And because of all of this work that I'm doing internally, what that's going to do is it's going to change my manifested reality, which is essentially going to take away the bailiffs. It's going to take away any mirror of lack in terms of freedom. And now, because I've done the work, I'm not in my prison anymore. I'm free. And I felt that to my core. I literally cried for about 4 to 5 minutes continuously, like the hardest, most pushing out cry, because I was purging all of that pain, just constantly trying. And when I just let it go, it all came out, because I am free and I don't need to try and achieve greatness anymore, because I know internally, and I am deciding, not just through affirmations logically, because I'm doing the internal work, I feel the greatness that I am. Because I do the work internally, I'm going more and more towards becoming more aware of myself, understanding who I am, what I am. And I am an extension of creation, of the universe, of God. And I'm feeling that because I'm doing the internal work, which leads me to a place of truly feeling my greatness for just being me, not for stuff that I have to achieve, which in turn will reflect in my reality. That freedom, that greatness, everything will come to me so much faster, so much more, in an abundance amount. The need to show what I am and who I am because I'm so misunderstood based on the way that people treat me, the perception of me, that need to show that is the fear. And it is so unconscious to you. You are so unaware of it, and you will understandably go, well, no, this is why I want freedom, and this is why I want freedom. If anyone wants freedom, it's because they're not free internally. It's literally it. Doesn't matter what the manifested reality that you're experiencing is, whether it's you're in prison, whether it's you're really broke and don't have any money, no matter what it is, if you want freedom, it's because internally you are not free. This is why it's so important to be able to understand the language of the universe. If I didn't have the ability to understand the language of the universe, have the ability to understand that my reality is manifesting like this for a specific reason, I wouldn't be able to get to this place. Because reality is a continuous feedback to you, the conscious awareness. I could understand that bailiffs are the punishment after failure, which is a manifestation. You have to get out of the 3D to be able to kind of see and observe and go, oh, this is what's happening. Because it's asking you to go inside to understand yourself, which is creating your external. It's the same with everything. I know speaking about this is going to bring a lot of thoughts up to you. It's going to bring a lot of thoughts that are fear-based as well, and that's good. It's normal. It's meant to. This is your awareness to them. You might be scared to chase your dreams. What if I'm not good enough to live freely? Fear actually keeps me stuck in my comfort zone. And that's the thing. Where I've arrived and what I've achieved hasn't come from safety and just feeling okay. And it's come from providing safety for myself. And it's scary and it's hard and it's meant to be hard. You're meant to move forward even though the fear is there. Now you, as a conscious awareness, have intuition. And one of the most asked questions I get is, how can you tell the difference between your intuition and your ego? And honestly, like, even though that has an answer, you're not really seeing more of what's actually going on. Your intuition is a part of your being, and all parts of you can actually use all parts of your being. Like, for example, this is my arm. All parts of me can use this arm. All parts of me can use my brain. All parts of you can use your intuition. So if your intuition can be used by all parts of you and you're living more fear-based, your intuitive messages and go left here, do that, do this, do that, will be more fear-based. What I mean by this is, let's say you're trying to grow a business. Let's say you're trying to achieve greatness and you're going to do that through this business. So your intuition will be like, well, make this video. No, go do this, go do that, go do this, do a webinar, do a live, make a YouTube video. It's all fear-based. And what that does is it's not necessarily taking you to your path. What I mean by that is that when you are integrating and you are free, you open up so much, not just your energy block for wealth or money, but your ability to understand yourself, the universe, and other versions of you and your higher self and everything, the communication, so much better. When you're integrating and you're leading from a place of an integrated soul, your intuition's going to be pointing you to the direction where you actually need to go towards. So when you're like, all right, I need to make a YouTube video like this, like, yeah, you really do. That's going to take you closer to your goal. Not the other fear-based YouTube video that's going to have a completely different energy to this one. When you have an aligned intuition, it's going to point you to the direction of what is actually going to bring you to your goal. But when you have a more aligned intuition, it's because you've been doing the work and you're starting to feel that worth and that greatness within yourself, inside of yourself. So you're not actually doing it in order to get that feeling of greatness and worthiness externally from you. That means the likes on your videos, the comments on your videos, the views, it doesn't matter. And the only reason it doesn't matter is because whatever you would be getting from that, you're giving to yourself internally, which is actually going to bring everything in so much quicker. Try and sit with yourself for a good 15 minutes in meditation. Just close your eyes and listen. Observe your thoughts and just listen and go towards what is really scary. Am I wanting to do this thing because I'm terrified and I just need this to work? Does it feel different? Does it feel like, oh, this is actually quite enjoyable to me, this idea? This is kind of cool. The reason I'm creating this video, this specific video, is because I love it. I genuinely love this subject. I love that I'm able to give you this information. I would have loved this information on my path. And I love giving out to the world what I wish I would have had as well, because I understand the value of it. And one of the best things you can do, like one of the best things you can do on this journey, is to surround yourself with like-minded people. People that are on the path of self-awareness, on the path of awakening. I'm more, but I'm not going to draw anymore. People that are very like-minded, people that are also on the path of becoming more free. What I teach people is how to become an advanced manifester. And this is how you do it. By things like this, by understanding your internal world is actually creating your external world. You need to learn the skills to be able to raise your awareness, to integrate parts of yourself, to be able to understand the universe's language, why something is manifesting, learn that this is a moment where I just need to make a different decision versus this is something that I need to go within myself to understand. And the whole thing's like feedback, continuous feedback to you, the conscious awareness. And the most beneficial thing that you're going to have is to learn how to understand that feedback and use it. The people that I work with jump so far ahead. This is why we're calling ourselves advanced manifestors, because you literally learn like 2 years worth of teachings in like the space of 1 or 2 months. And a huge part of that is surrendering. Now, to understand what surrendering is mechanically is going to be huge on this journey. I'm going to put this video here, which is going to go deeper into the mechanics of surrendering, what it even means and how to do it.